Okay, so here's your answer key for the brownie problem so that you can see the picture model, the problem in words, and then the problem in numbers, which I'm sure that you guys did it right, but there's your answer key for that. Then what I need you guys to do is to go through and do the same thing for the balloon problem. I need a picture, I need it in words, and I need it in numbers. Same for the chess problem, and these will be submitted. Then I need the raw count problem done as well. And then I want you to work on the division with base 10 blocks part 2. So this is where you can kind of do it on your own, but there's also some help, and these are notes that guide you through how you can show your division using your base 10 blocks. So I would definitely go through the examples and kind of trade in and out your 10 longs and your 100 longs and things like that and get your division done so you can see what's really happening when you do your division. Then we're going to start with the remainder problem solving model. So a big thing for this year for you guys is that you are going to need to be able to interpret the remainder, is what we call it. That means when you have a remainder, when you divide, you need to know what it means to answering your problem. And it just depends on what kind of question is being asked. Like sometimes you're going to need to be able to sometimes you don't even care about the remainder. It just doesn't matter. You just get rid of it. And then sometimes you're going to have to evenly distribute your remainder in order to get your answer. And then other times that remainder is going to bump you up to the next value in your groups. So you have 3 different things that can happen. You're bumping up to the next value, you're dividing it equally, or you just completely forget about it. It just depends on the problem situation, okay? So let's go ahead and do our problem-solving model first, and then you can work on some problems on your own. Let me get this out of the way. Okay. So we have parent volunteers are driving vans for a school field trip. There are 147 people going, and each van holds 8 people. How many vans are they going to need to transport all the people? Now, being able to figure these kinds of problems out are going to be really important. We actually do these kinds of problems all the time as teachers. We have to make sure that everybody has a ride for the field trip and that they're not left behind at the school and things like that. So we need to make sure that we order enough buses for our field trips, along, you know, with other things like that are similar to that. So these are kind of important questions. So first thing that we should do is ask ourselves, what do we know? What does this problem give us? Well, we know the number of people in each van and the total number of people going on the trip. Then we need to explain the solution process and solve it. So what we need to do is we need to divide the number of people, divide the number in each group. That means people in the vans by the number in each group, or 8 people per van, to find the number of vans that we need. So we have 147 people going. We can put 8 people in each van, which means we need 18 vans, but then we have a remainder of 3. So now I need to kind of ask myself, what does this remainder of 3 mean? Okay, so I'm going to go over here. And so we can use that remainder that's left over as a quantity that is discarded or not used. But I need to think about what that question is really saying. How many vans are going to be completely full? Well, we have 18 minivans that are going to be completely full. How many vans are we going to need to transport all the people? we're going to need 19 vans because the remainder of the kids, like 3, that's kids that are standing there wanting to join everybody on the field trip, but they have no ride. So that means I'm not going to order 18 vans because I can't get all my 5th graders there. I need to order another van. That means that remainder bumps up my value. So I'll need to order 19 vans for the trip. Even though that 19th van won't be completely full with the 8 people, I still need to get another one because I have 3 people who need to get to the field trip. And then we could have a quantity where we use only the remainder. If it only took 18 vans, how many people did not go in the van? It just depends on what the question is asking. 3 people didn't go in the van. But we're going to need 19 vans to go on the trip, or we're not even going to use the remainder. That means 18 minivans are going to be completely full. That would be a question that we're answering. So what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and kind of start working through interpreting the remainders part A and part B. We're just getting division problems here, and you need to decide what you do with the remainder. Do you use it, do you discard it, or does it increase your value? Okay. Also with part B, you need to do these on your own and then submit them online for a grade. And that should take care of us here, at least for this activity.